It's a new day, and I think it's a day I'm gonna try to tackle the upper storage. So I know the top, the roof and the ceiling with shiplap might look unfinished, but because of the weird curvatures we have, this is as far as we can go with it. But I'm gonna manage or try to make some upper storage that will potentially hide the corner, and then we'll fill in the back later. So yeah, this is what it looks like right now. We'll get started. Alright, so I constructed this outside. It's a 1x2 by a 2x2 and just screwed it in at the top. And even though we thought this was going to be maybe easy, we became aware of another issue with our good old curvatures. It's always the curve. So where we want to hang it, there's a little bit of a curve, so our cabinets might have a little bit of a slant, but we're hoping it's not that big of a deal. But so now that we've got this frame, we are gonna screw it up to the top right about here. And yeah, we'll be fixing up the paint. So that's our little slant. Not the worst thing in the world, but yeah. And we'll check in with the next step. Alright, so it's like a week later from when we tried to put up these upper, like the frames for the upper storage. Also, sorry for the noise, our next neighbors are having a party. But we noticed that the ones we made, it was just way too thin. It made us too nervous for everything this would hold if it wouldn't be sturdy enough. So we changed it to 2x2s on both the frame that's gonna go on top, like on our ceiling, and the parts that are coming down. So I just finished painting these up, and I think I'm gonna make the doors to it before I put them up. Before, I know I was trying to get these screwed up, and then I was gonna probably just do the rest while they're up there, but I think it might be easier if I make the cabinet doors, screw them on here with the hinges, and then try to attach the whole thing to the ceiling. Alright, so we're gonna try to attach our little cabinet door to the cabinet frame before we put it up, just because I don't know why we think that's a better idea, but we're gonna give it a shot. We were gonna use these more like heavy duty hinges that would really hold it up there and make it stay, but we just think this is too delicate for that. So we're just gonna go with these nice little orange gold hinges, and hopefully we'll just hold the cabinet open when we need to grab stuff, or maybe down the road we'll get some like low resistance guys, but for now hopefully this will work. Okay, please. Oh, barely. That is okay. A-okay. Sweet. Yay. Okay, got one done. Done. Time to do the other. Alright, now it's time to put the first component of the overhead storage up here. This is the part where we have the frame and then the cabinet door that's going to open. I threw some little gold hinges on them, so they're going to be kind of flimsy. We'll have to hold them up unless we get some sort of resistance on them. I think I already talked about this, but it's been a couple days. Yeah, but we're gonna drill probably with some 3-inch screws, 2.5, 3-inch right up here. So we're having a bit of an issue with the upper cabinets. So I wish I would have done this video when I had the other one up, but I just took it down. There it is right there. We knew this was the first one we put up, and it's at a little bit of a slant, but it's nothing major because just our roof is curved. And but the other one we put up, the slant was even worse. And also, so when they're both slanted, they look just so close together, and obviously the solution you think would be just to move them back, but then that makes them even more slanted. So I've been trying to think up a solution, so that's why I just took this one down, because I kind of have an idea. I don't know if it's gonna work though. I made a little dummy. So this is the same 2x2 that we've been using. And I put a little 1/2 inch on here. And I want to see, because I want to fix two problems. When the other one is right here, they're just too close. And it's right above our bed. And it just looks like, it just looks too close. I would love to move it down a little bit, like onto here. And yeah, so the idea is I want to see if I put this up and it's got the little lip on it like this. I want to see here, let me move my hand. I want to see if having a little extra 1/4 inch, I screwed it in like that potentially. I want to see if that would make it straighter. So I'm going to put you guys down so I can test this out and see if it works. Alright, so I tested it out. Think it might work if the contact point hits at the right spot. But I'm still too nervous just to go all in and glue a little 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch strip onto this because we worked really hard on this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it on the little dummy. Then try to screw it in, like the dummy screwed in. And if it really seems sturdy, I'll unscrew it and then make a new one for this one because I'm just too scared. Oh my god, I think I did it. Alright, I screwed it up there with like the little like filler, or here we go. Screwed it up there with a little filler and it's still as sturdy as it was, but now it is perfectly straight. If anything, it's curving in a little bit now. I can like loosen it and make it a bit better. But wow. And I'm realizing I'm pulling the camera all over the place. So now we can move them in more. Oh wow, this is so exciting. Okay, I'm gonna wait till Chris gets back to show him. But this might have just worked. And then we'll do it on the real thing. Oh wow, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Alright, so Chris approved of my little dummy one. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut another piece and do it to the real thing. I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
Alright, here we go. And we got the new one up. Oh, and it looks so much better. I think probably I have it somewhere in this video or somewhere on my camera where it showed that this one was like in and like whoa. And it just looked funky. And also, even how Chris said, it felt claustrophobic under it because it's just, they're way too close together and it's, I don't know. So this is significantly better. And now I'm gonna take this one down and create some sort of like little ledge again to move it and keep it. This one wasn't too much of an issue keeping it straight. It's a little slanted, but it was not as bad as this one. But we're still gonna make it move it over, make it even, and we're gonna have so much more space. All right, I give you the new and improved upper cabinets. We're not finished yet. We still have to do the whole like base part, but instead of them being in and crooked, they're farther apart and a bit more straight, which makes me very, very happy because now we won't feel like we're like always hitting our heads when we're in our bed. Feels like it gives a lot more space, which is very nice. By the way, it's 1 a.m. so if we sound really sleepy and we look sleepy, that is why. Oh whoa, we can open both at the same time now. Get your head there. That's cool.
Ooh, they go right in line with the lights.
That's satisfying. Nice. Ooh.
That's surprisingly nice.
That's so cool. I love when we do things and it's like that we weren't planning on that, but it just happened. Wow. That was nice.
That's really cool.
Yay. All right, well now the battery light on the camera is blinking, so I'm gonna go plug this in. All right, so I feel like we did the hard part of the shelf already. We have the main thing already installed with the door. Now it's time to put some reinforcement on the back here, and then we're just gonna put a little 1/4 piece of ply right across, screw them up at the bottom, and then we should have a shelf or a little upper storage that will then cover everything we weren't able to do in the back and also give us storage for some clothes. Alright, so now we have this upper storage and this one. They're pretty sturdy in here, be able to hold a good amount of clothes. And now I just have to do kind of the annoying task of making a piece of wood that kind of matches the curvature as best as I possibly can. And then they'll be closed off and they'll be all done. They're just super exciting. Alright, so here's an update. We haven't recorded in a while just because the last few days have been hectic. Because we are trying to get out of here, but also we're having to finish this. But some updates. Closed up the upper cabinets, and Chris is killing it at electrical. We have two outlets, but still, it's getting finished, which is super exciting. I'm now gonna paint this little white piece and then also fill in a little hole here, little hole here. Yeah, just trying to cover up all the red spots the best we can. Alright, so here's a little update. I think one of the last clips I talked about painting like this piece of plywood that I had sitting up, like just like balancing on here. Quickly realized that was gonna look really bad just because it's gonna be sticking out, and I still didn't know what to do with the curve, so I kind of decided just to paint the whole red part white, and it surprisingly looks pretty good. I thought it was gonna look a lot worse. Definitely the cords are gonna need extra coats just because the paint isn't sticking as well on those, but I think a few coats and it will be good. And then we have our nice cabinets all up and great. We also added these little hooks because the little magnets I was trying to put at the bottom, they were not working. So I think the hooks are our way to go to keep these in. Maybe just need to pull them a little tighter, but that'll be okay. And then the last thing I'm going to do, which I might end up saving for the reveal because we're in a hurry, I have just this piece of plywood that I painted. It's currently drying. I'm going to set it right back here to make it, that's why this little white piece is here. It's going to be a little shelf. That's like the little barrier so things don't fall off the shelf. So then we can decorate it, make it super cute, and make it feel like a little home. And also, not on the topic of the upper shelving, but I thought I'd show, we also cut out our little reflectives, whatever they're called, that we're gonna put on our windows at nighttime for privacy. And it's actually pretty easy. Just cutting the nice shapes, and then they're just velcroed on the back corners, all four. Yeah, so here, let me see if I can pick this up real quick, just so at least you can get a visual of what we're going for. Oh, this piece of wood is heavy. So we're gonna go for something like putting the shelf back there and having a little decorative shelf. But it'll be hidden, tucked behind the corners. But yeah, maybe I'll save that for the final reveal. Maybe I won't. And I'll get one more clip in before we go, but I don't know. I think it's really coming together, and I think really painting the back part of this white really pulled it together, surprisingly. So glad I just went with that option instead of trying to like create a whole wooden piece that would have had a balance back there.